Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.2 Mahat Sevam Dvaramahur Vimuktes Tamo Dvaram Yoshitam Sanghi Sangam Mahantaste Samachittah Prashanta Vimanyavah Suhridah Sadhavo Ye Mahat Sevam Dvaramahur Vimuktes Tamo Dvaram Yoshitam Sanghi Sangam Mahantaste Samachittah Prashanta Vimanyavah Suhridah Sadhavo Ye Mahat Sevam Dvaramahur Vimuktes Tamo Dvaram Yoshitam Sanghi Sangam Mahantaste Samachittah Prashanta Vimanyavah Suhridah Sadhavo Ye Mahat Sevam, service to the spiritually advanced persons called Mahatmas. Dvaram, the way. Ahu, they say. Vimukte, of liberation. Tamah Dvaram, the way to the dungeon of a dark, hellish condition of life. Yoshitam, of women. Sangi, of associates. Sangam, association. Mahanta, highly advanced in spiritual understanding. They. Samachittaha, persons who see everyone in a spiritual identity. Prashantaha, very peaceful, situated in Brahman or Bhagavan. Vimanyavaha, without anger. One must distribute Krishna consciousness to persons who are hostile without becoming angry at them. Suhrida, well-wishers of everyone. Sadhava, qualified devotees, without abominable behavior. Ye, they who. Translation and purport by Zivangres A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: one can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. Purport. The human body is like a junction. You know what junction? Junction of where? Like a crossroads. What junction? What is Prabhupada talking about? Junction means in our evolutionary cycle, not the modern Darwin evolutionary cycle. Darwin says that from one body, eventually it evolved into another body. But he cannot explain why the body before that is still existing. Like they say, man came from monkey, but then Monkey should have gone if survival of the fittest was the reason, but monkey is still existing and man is also existing. So actually his philosophy is not correct at all. We have information from our scriptures that all these species are always there. Now the evolution is of our consciousness. Now we have been taking birth among subhuman species, which are 8 million in number, starting from the fish, then the trees, then the insects and reptiles, and the birds, and the quadrupeds, and finally, now we have come to human body. Now this is a junction. Now, what is a junction? A junction is a place where you can go in any direction, right? Straight road, there's no junction. You just go one. So until we come to human life, it's just one direction. We just go to the next higher body. So in the fish, there are 900,000 different types of fish. And when a fish dies, it'll go to the next higher body of fish. And finally, if it is in the last body of the fish species, fish group of species, then it'll go to the tree species, the worst of the trees. And then it'll go to the next higher. And then we have some trees which can actually be used in Krishna's service. They are actually more pious than others, like flowering plants. There are some trees which have traps to trap insects and all. They are not very actually pious plants. They are very sinful. And even among flowering plants, fragrant plants, the one which is situated near a temple or in the proximity of a devotee, then he'll become more fortunate because those flowers will be used. And the same flowering plant in another location may not be as fortunate. So, like that. So, the human body is like a junction. Because an animal cannot commit sin. Do you know? You don't know? When the lion kills an animal, it is not that the lion will get some karma now. No, it doesn't. Because that is the food ordained by the Lord for him. And he has no discrimination in thinking this is right and this is wrong. For him, survival is the only criterion for existence. And the lions actually, they kill not their own cubs, but lion cubs. Female lions, they maintain the family, and the male lions, they patrol the area, and then if there are other male lions from another pride or something, they will attack them and try to protect. And if the other lion actually wins the fight, then he will come and he wants to mate with the lionesses of this pride. But then if she has children, lion cubs, then she will not be wanting to have relation with him, sex with this new lion. So what the new lion does, he will actually kill all the babies of the lioness. This is regular in lion life. So they'll kill all the babies without mercy. The lioness will try to protect, but he will fight the lioness and kill all the babies. And then this female lion, the mother, will actually mate with the new one because she wants to have babies. So that's how lion psychology is. So it's horrible. I mean, if a human does these kind of things, I mean, he's the worst psychopath in human society. But that's the way. But lion does not get any sinful reaction by doing this. Although it's very cruel. What to speak of other species, it kills even its own species. So still it is not considered because the lion does not have the brains, the intelligence to understand what is right, what is wrong, what is religious, who is God, what am I supposed to do in life? No understanding. So therefore, just like in the court of law, if a person commits a crime because of madness, if he is mentally unstable and he commits a crime, he will not get a serious sentence. Just maybe some psychiatric treatment and that kind of things. And maybe some isolation also, but not like real punishment because he is mental. So, similarly, because the species below human species are not capable of deciding what is right and what is wrong and cannot have a higher intelligence, so they are not punished. So therefore, their path is only one way to the next, until it comes to human life. Now it is a junction. Now you can go higher or lower or remain in the same place. It all depends, because now we have the faculty of intelligence to determine what is right and what is wrong, and to understand the scriptures. Like we are all here sitting humans. There are also some ants maybe in this room, but they will get some benefit because the sound of Krishna topics or his kirtan is beneficial for everybody. But to understand this, it's not possible for them. You cannot expect dog. Like the other day, one couple came to the temple. They were upstairs. They came and asked me, asked our devotees, we really love our puppy. Can we bring the puppy and let him take darshan of the Lord? I said no. And he was asking why. I want to understand why you cannot allow him, because I just want him to take darshan of the Lord. After all, he is the Lord for the puppy also. No? I say yes, he is the Lord for the puppy also. You can do another way. You can take picture of Radha Madan Mohan and put in your house and let him take darshan. But dogs are not to be allowed in the temple premises. Yeah, because they are unclean by nature. Even though you may clean the dogs in your home, but their nature is unclean, so much so that if the dog sees something which is before it is offered, it has to be thrown. It cannot be offered to Krishna. Just by the dog looking at it, that is the level. And I told him also that, see, you are so attached to the dog, this is dangerous for you, because you can become a dog in the next life. Because Bharat Maharaj also was thinking in the same way, that he is a devotee, he will take care of the deer and all that. He became the deer. So we cannot play with fire. So we cannot think that, I will save Maya. What? What is happening? Ah, really? What I can do? Stop. You let me know if it is working or not. You cannot see yet. It will take some time. There will be delay. It's working now? Okay. Where were we? I always forget when I'm distracted. No, you cannot see so immediately. You have to wait. The YouTube live stream will have a delay. After 15 seconds, you will be able to see. Is it moving? It is not showing this one now. Is it working? It's stuck. It's like this. This one. It's moving very slow, or is not at all moving? No, moving slow, very slow. I will just continue. I don't care. I can't do much about it. Okay. So, junction. So, in this human life, we have the faculty to determine what is right and what is wrong, and based on that, we will go upper or lower. We can go a little bit up, or very far up, or completely to the spiritual world, or we can go a little bit lower, a little bit more lower, or completely to the bottom. So, we can go anywhere from human life. Now, you may say, if the animals don't have karma, then why are they suffering? Why are they suffering? It's not that the lion is the king of the jungle, so he has no suffering. What is that? There is a verse. Nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mukhem mriga. That means just because the lion is the king of the jungle, Doesn't mean that all the animals will jump into its mouth, it will just relax, and then every animal will just jump into the mouth. No, he has to work hard. So, and some lions, they enjoy more than others. Some are weaker, some are stronger, some are, they die at an early age, or the, brutal fight, and then the back is broken, and then they die a horrible death. Some don't die like that, some die until the, ripe old age. So, why are there different, experiences for even among lions, or even any animals, any plants? So, this is the intricacy. Now, although they don't have karma of their own, but the suffering is because of the activities, of the activities that they did in the human life sometime in the millions of years ago. That, see, until he comes to the next human life, all the suffering in the animal life, in millions of years, in millions of life forms, are only due to the wrong actions that he has committed in one human life before that. Just imagine. Now we are saying, because I have committed sin, next life I will suffer. Not next life. Some millions of lives will suffer. It's like a comet has a tail. Comet has a tail. So the sinful reaction has this long tail of suffering. What kinds of things I have done in the human life, those will manifest as sufferings, as these minute differences in details of suffering also. Like there are many deer, right? Deer. Why some deer just horrible life? They get killed by the lion or tiger or cheetah or leopard or something. Others don't. Or hyenas or whatever. So there is difference even in their experiences, and that is, in fact, Prabhupada said those trees which are on the roadside, on the sides, just like in Singapore, very beautiful. All roads are green. Actually, those trees are not so high karma, not so good karma. The trees which are on the roadside, because you're saying something and is shaking your head. Okay, so because the trees, they are always disturbed on the roadside by the movement of the cars. They don't actually get a proper rest. Trees also rest, but they don't get a proper rest, those who are on the sides of the road. So their lives are not as good as those in the forest or those in well-kept gardens or something like that. And they regularly are pruned. All the branches will be cut, especially here. Trees must look nice. Ornamental trees look nice. So these things are there. So anyway, human body is like a junction. Only one sentence we finished in the purport. One may either take the path of liberation or the path leading to a hellish condition. How one can take these paths is described here. On the path of liberation, one associates with Mahatmas. And on the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to sense gratification and women. Just let me know, how is the feed stuck? It is working. Okay, good. So on one associates with Mahatma, and the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to sense gratification and women. A lot of explanation needed here. Anyway, we'll read the whole thing. There are two types of Mahatmas, the impersonalist and the devotee. In fact, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, even among the yogis, even among the materialists, sometimes people can be called Mahatmas. But all the Mahatmas are not same. The Mahatma who is a devotee Mahatma, he is the greatest of all Mahatma. He is actually the real Mahatma as defined by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. These other Gandhi Mahatma, these are all certified by fools. Common man who doesn't know what is the aim of life, what is actually a Mahatma, what is the real quality. Just some rubber stamping won't make a person Mahatma. Okay? So, although their ultimate goal is different, the process of emancipation is almost the same. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman, and the other seeks happiness in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Saukhyam. Brahman means spiritual or eternal. Both the impersonalist and the devotee seek eternal blissful life. In any case, it is advised that one become perfect. In the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila 22.87, Asat Sangha Tyag E Vaishnava Achar, Stri Sangi Ek Asadhu, Krishna Bhakta Ar. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat, materialistic. There are two kinds of materialists. One is attached to women and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with Mahatmas, and on the negative side is the avoidance of non-devotees and women hunters. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, very important verse, Prabhupada quoted many times, and it is the essence of the entire entire program for the material world. So, as we know, the material world is actually created only for one purpose, but it takes on two different dimensions. The purpose is to rectify the defective souls or the erroneous souls. Because we have, what is our defect? What is our mistake? Our mistake is that we, being eternal servants of Krishna, we have forgotten that. Or we have wanted to challenge Krishna. And that started the chain of, material birth and death. Because sometimes it is asked that why Krishna can't allow him in the Vaikuntha itself, why he has to, just because somebody is not accepting his authority, he is so cruel that he will just banish him. Actually, it is not like that. He is very kind. So in the Vaikuntha, only the Lord is glorified. Of course, the devotees are glorified when they are serving the Lord. But if somebody wants to become the Lord of Vaikuntha, logically speaking, an inferior person cannot control a superior person. Will not be controlled. Only a superior person can control an inferior person. So, in the spiritual world, the Lord is always the superior because He is the supreme whole. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam. He is Purna. It's complete. Shadaishwarya Purna. We are infinitesimal. So, compared with the Lord, we are very inferior. So, He is always the predominator. We cannot be. We don't have such capacity as Him. So, what He does, because we want to be the superior now in a relationship, so He will make us superior. He will create a world, so He created this material world which is inferior to the living entity. So that in comparison we become the superior. And now we can enjoy. In the spiritual world, it is not possible because we are inferior and we cannot predominate over the superior. So because we want to become superior, Krishna created a world that is inferior to even us. And okay, now you enjoy. And he gave us all facility. When we came here first, we became Brahma. And that is the highest post in this material world. We started off as Brahma. Complete control of the entire universe. Full facility to become the Lord. We misused. Fell below and below and below until we became the worm in the stool. So who is to be blamed? Now, the law of karma, you may say, why there should be law of karma? Why he should punish? Okay, because he wanted to enjoy on his own, okay, give him the material world and let him enjoy. Why there is suffering then? He did not want the suffering, he wanted enjoyment, okay, he gave him material world then, but why is he giving suffering also? That means, you see, Krishna is sadist. He always wants everybody to worship him only, otherwise he will not tolerate it. He will give suffering to the person until he will glorify him. No. Because if a person has to become a Lord, because we wanted to become the Lord, so if he has to become a Lord, he has to become Lord of somebody. That somebody is who? Other living entities, right? And the thing is, they also want to become the Lord. So now, if everybody wants to become the Lord, that is not possible. So there has to be some checks and balances. Like why there is law in the country? No, everybody let everybody be happy. So there is no law. Everybody can grab as much land as they want. Then what will happen? This person, whoever is stronger, he will kill the other person, everybody. So in this way, there will be unlawful occupation of land and everybody will suffer. Lawlessness is actually suffering. Now, nobody likes to stop at a red light when he wants to reach the destination quickly. Nobody likes to the red light. He hates it. Unless somebody wants to scroll on their phone, that's another. Otherwise, if he quickly wants to get somewhere, and if there is red light, again, and another red light, again. So, he'll feel like that. At least I feel like that. So, people don't like the red light. But, absence of the red light will ensure that I will not reach the destination. I will reach another destination. Right? So, if I have to reach a proper destination, there has to be rules. Because there are others also who are having their own destinations. And there has to be some law in which there are boundaries set. If I transgress, then I will be punished. So, in that way, everybody... So, actually, the law of karma was created to make us happy. Even though we chose the complete stupid path of giving up on Krishna, still Krishna wants to see to our, well-being. And that's why he's called Suhrida. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He's a friend of everyone. Even though we have completely defied and denied him and everything. But he is not denying us our right to be happy. So he has sent us to this material world. We want to be the Lord, okay, you will have some people who you can lord over. And then there will be this law of karma, so that everyone's rights are protected, everyone's happiness or their boundaries are protected. Of course, you can transgress them, but then you will have consequences. So that freedom we will have still. So he gives us the freedom to act as we please within our boundaries, of course. Of course, I cannot fly like a bird. Aeroplanes, yeah, but the aeroplanes don't fly like birds. Birds don't need runways. So we do it in a limited way. We imitate other species maybe here and there, but there is a limit to our action. We cannot go beyond certain limits. So anyway, so he created, if you analyze everything like this, you will see that Krishna is doing everything out of love for us. People blame God. Oh, why, if God is there, why is there so much suffering? Why bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people? All this rhetoric. People who don't spend a single second thinking about actually how things work or bother to inquire how things actually work, simply blame. In this case, they will ascertain the cause is God. Whereas in everything else, we are the cause. If everything, we put a spacecraft in space, yes, we are the one. Some thunder struck, act of God. That is act of God. In fact, it is the legal term for that. If there is a natural disaster, they don't say it is a natural disaster. When everything is nice, nice scenery, oh, nature, mother nature. When everything bad happens, act of God. Then who did the nice thing? That is also act of God only, right? You are also an act of God. God created our own body. Why that is not act of God? Only when it is a most horrible thing that happens, earthquake, act of God. God is that rascal who always, gives us all kind of troubles only. He doesn't give the good things. When we say that is the act of God, it is atheism. This legal framework is created on the basis of atheism. That's why the terms are like that. But in one way, it is also in our Shastra, Adhidaidik, act of the demigods. Of course, it is ultimately the act of God. But it is not only the disasters that are acts of God. Even now the sun is moving nicely, the earth is moving. This is also act of demigods and God. Act of God through the demigod, through the agency of the demigods. So, but when we will feel, we take it for granted. This, everything is moving nicely. We take it for granted, but actually it is the arrangement of the Lord. The scientists themselves said that if the earth was a little bit far away from the sun, just a little bit, it would have been a frozen planet. And if it was a little bit closer to the sun, it would have been a scorching firewall. Who maintains the balance then? Who knew? Scientists only found out now. Krishna already knows. He's already doing it the right way. We only find out something, this is right, now we are right. The law of gravity is attributed to Newton, but law of gravity has been in existence since time immemorial. Why we should say Newton's laws? It is Krishna's laws. But this is, we take credit for when we actually, it is not due to us. We just find out something wonderful that the Lord has already done. But when something bad happens, no, that's not us, that's God. So this is our problem. So we should understand that actually God, Krishna, His hand is in everything. And devotee is one who actually acknowledges this, who sees. And in this material world, the design of this material world as done by Krishna, as I said, it has two aspects to it. Although it is actually only created for one purpose. The purpose is to rectify. But then it looks like Krishna gave us facility for sense gratification. Actually, He did. So it is a place for both things. To satisfy our material life and also to give us a chance for rectification. So how is it done? So this is done. So we wanted sense gratification and He gave us ample opportunity by creating this whole system of the material world and every aspect of it. Now, He lets us try. He lets us try. Okay, you wanted this? Like sometimes when the parent tells the child, suppose he goes to the supermarket with the child and the child says, I want this toffee, I want this chocolate. And he said, no, so many chocolates are not good for you, don't eat. No, he will make a huge tantrum in the supermarket and then making a big scene. Okay, then the parents unwillingly buy something and take. Go and stop the nonsense. So they give him. So in that way, we also have thrown a tantrum at Krishna. And that's why He gave us, okay, you really want it? Okay, go. Then He sends us here. And here, as we try more and more, in the hope that we will get some happiness, we try this for millions of years. And we end up as a worm in the stool. Still we don't realize. We are enjoying the stool also. And then become pig and dog and cat and everything. We seem to enjoy all that. Once we come to the human life, we can actually question our existence. And therefore Vedanta Sutra starts with this point where Athato Brahma Jijnasa. We should start, the beginning of human life is actually when we inquire about the aim of life. Until then, even though we have technically attained human life, Vedas define it as Dvipada Pashu. It is still animal life, only with 2 legs. Difference with other animals is only 2 legs in this case. So real human life starts when inquiry happens. And what kind of inquiry? Not that what is the next movie releasing, or what is the what happened in the tennis Wimbledon, or some cricket World Cup or some soccer World Cup. That is not the inquiry. Brahma Jignasa, spiritual inquiry. Who am I? Actually, who am I? Where did I come from? What should I be doing in this life? Why do I suffer? Ke ami? Keno more jare tapatroy? Sanatana Goswami asked this question to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who am I? Huh? Mm. 22.100 is that? Wrong. Ami. Huh? What is that? 2102 or 22102? आमी केने आमाय जारे तापत्रय इहा नाहि जानी के मने हित होय. That means what? Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? We want benefit. We think technological advancement, infrastructure projects will give us advancement, will give us happiness. No. In fact, another place he says, अपनार हिताहित किछुई न जाने ग्राम्य व्यवहारे पंडित ताय सत्य माने. So Sanatana Goswami is saying, I do not know what is beneficial for me or what is detrimental. Nonetheless, in ordinary dealings, people consider me a learned scholar, and I am also thinking myself as such. Gramya Vyavahare Kohe Pandit. Everybody is calling me Pandit, and I am thinking I am also Pandit. But what kind of Pandit I am that I don't even know who I am and what is good for me or what is bad for me? I don't even know. Today, that is the situation in the world. PhD, masters in this and that. But a fool in the matter of understanding himself. After PhD, he doesn't know even ABCD of his own self. You ask him who you are. Oh, I'm an Indian, I'm an American, I'm a Japanese, I'm a man, I'm a PhD, I'm a Harvard alumni or this and that. He will get everything else but himself. Who are you? That is not you. Your body is Indian. Body is made in India or made in China, Japan or anything. But you are not the body. See, you are not a Chinese, Japanese or Indian. The soul has nothing to do with these designations, but we accept these designations. So if I don't even know who I am, then how do I know what is actually beneficial for me? That is the question of Sanatana Goswami. Ke ame, kene amay jare tapatroy. Iha nahi jane, kemane hita hoy. Here also, apnar hita hita kichu hi na jane. Gramya Vyavahare Pandit Thai Satyaman. So, we are always puffed up with our so-called qualifications, but we should always question what do I know about myself. Okay. Jignasa, Athata Brahma Jignasa. When you question, whom do you question? You have to question someone to get the answer. You don't throw the question in the air and then expect the air to answer. Sometimes they say like this, oh, the universe answered me. What the universe? You talk, which part of the universe has the mouth to answer you? You tell me. This is all nonsense talk. When they say universe, what universe? Which part of the universe? Can you tell me exactly where the mouth is of the universe? Which talk to you? So this is a language which is based on atheism. Why don't you say God? Conscience, right? It's a conscience from inside. That is the Paramatma. Sometimes he gives conscience. So, and sometimes it is our own speculation, not conscience. So, to establish what is actually, to unequivocally, that means without doubt, to establish what is correct. Sometimes we think, oh, I have this gut feeling. My intuition says, the universe is speaking to me. So, how to check whether it is the Paramatma actually giving you the conscience or my mind talking nonsense to me? Because it can be two ways. Because The serial killer is also he has this intuition that I should kill this person. So, is Paramatma dictating him? In one way, yes. In one way, yes. Why? Because somebody has to be killed. Because he killed somebody in his previous life. So, that person has to be killed. So, Krishna arranges somebody else to kill him. That may be a serial killer. It's not that the Paramatma wanted him to kill, but because he anyway had that stupid intention, okay, you go and arrange. So Krishna, the arrangement, the intricate arrangement, the logistics of how everything is actually taking place. We think it is epiphany. We think it is, what is the other word? There is a word which like coincidence. What is the other word for coincidence? A synonym. Something that happens. What's the word? No. No, not destiny. A beneficial coincidence. What is that called? Because coincidentally we can have some horrible thing also happening, right? So we call that accident. And beneficial ones, we call it not blessings in disguise. No. It is so much used even by the motivational speakers. Fluke, you can say. I'm just not getting that word. Just try. If I don't get, let me just forget it. Coincidence, synonyms. Let's see. Yes, serendipity. This is the word I was looking for. Serendipity. This is the word. The occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. So serendipity, or sometimes just things happen. Oh, I was in the right time at the right place and it just happened. So these things are arrangements of Krishna. And sometimes I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. And things go horribly wrong. So everything is the arrangement of Krishna, this way or that way. But anyway, the Lord does not want that we become a serial killer. It's because that somebody already has that intention, inclination because of his own karma. Because of that, his mental state is in a certain way. Certain people who are supposed to are at the receiving end of the karma because of something which they have done previously, now are getting their dues in the form of this serial killer or any other way. Sometimes accident, sometimes this way. So sometimes we cannot, that case that happened in 2012, that gang rape in Delhi. So in that life, the woman was innocent. Of course, it was not good for her to go out late in the night. It is always dangerous. There will be some bad actors who will always be there, some idiots who will do something nonsense. Apart from that, seemingly innocent, right? So how such injustice happened to her? Now, for those who perpetrated that crime, they will definitely have to be punished. If they're not sufficiently punished by the law of the state, or if they somehow escape it, or if they get a reduced punishment, the remaining quota of the punishment will be given by Yamaraj. So whatever they're destined to get, they will get, either by the law of the state or by Yamaraj later on. So that is there's no escaping that fact. Now, coming to the point of the lady who was raped. Now, why did that happen to that lady? The only answer, if you zoom out, actually there was no injustice. We are not saying that, yes, that should have happened to that lady. We are not saying that. But if suppose you see a rapist and you know that this person is a rapist and he did this, actually it's proven beyond doubt that he did it. What will you want for him? What will you want that should happen to him? He should face the exact same pain, right? He should face the exact harrowing experience that that lady got it. You wish the exact same for her. But that is exactly what happens to him. Next life, he will be the woman and he will get raped. Now go forward a little bit. You are only seeing the woman and you did not see what happened in the previous life of this woman. What if? Now you know. You can fill in the blanks. Was the man raped and now gotten raped? So this is actually how karma works. Sometimes we think, hey, how can you say like that? But then, if you see the other way, if you see the rapist, you will want that for him. But when you see the raped, you will think, oh, that was, injustice and that. So, then what to do now? Let everything go on as in how everything happens, just leave everything to karma? No. The way that things can change, the karma of a person can change, is by the association of devotees. That's why Krishna said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. What is the sarva papebhyo? That means, so for those who do not understand Sanskrit, so if you surrender to me, Krishna says, immediately I will rid you of all sinful reactions. Sarva papebhyo. And what is the sarva papebhyo? This is explained in Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramenaiva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. What is that? In the Bible there is this concept. As you sow, so shall you reap. If you sow an orange seed, you can never expect a mango tree. You can only expect an orange tree. So when we wish, oh, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, what are we having for Happy Birthday? McDonald's chicken burger. So if I do these things, if I am giving unhappiness to somebody and wish myself happy birthday or New Year or life or marriage or whatever, and I am giving unhappiness to others, when I am sowing the seed of unhappiness, how can I expect a fruit of happiness? No, I will not get it. Despite all our wishes, we will suffer only. They said 2020. In fact, when I was in 2000, oh, magical, we have entered the new millennium. It's going to be all new. Nothing was new. Okay. And then they said there was this, I was in Telangana, Hyderabad. And our chief minister came up with this tagline, Vision 2020. We're going to have this very futuristic, state and everything. Now 2020, everybody wished Happy New Year, Happy New Year. COVID came. COVID came soon after. So we wish each other all these things. But what happens? Complete suffering. So we cannot expect that, we sow the seed of sin and get some huge happy result. No. As you sow, so shall you reap. And that same thing is explained in our Padma Purana as, in a little more detail, Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramenaiva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. So when you sow the seed of sin, you will not immediately, sometimes they say instant karma. Actually, there is no such thing as instant karma. It's a coincidence that he committed something stupid, sinful, and then he got the reaction of something which he done in the past. Now we say, oh, this is we in our own head we say that this is the cause of that reaction, but it is not like that. Some things happen very fast. Some things, so not all sin takes the same time. Just like some plants grow quick, some plants go a little time, some years. So Vaishnava aparadh will have immediate effects. The greater this thing, sinful reaction, sinful action. So depending, it's Krishna's how he, maintains all these logistics, how this happens. Now, but the general principle is this. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam. Bijam means seed. So I have just sown the seed of sin. Now, when it will grow into a sapling, when it will grow into a tree, when it will bear flower and fruit, and when the fruit will ripen, that's when I will taste the reaction of that sin which I sown as a seed some time ago. So with time, we will experience all these in due course. So this serendipity or accident, all these also happen by Krishna's grace. So when we complain that, oh, why bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people? Wait, He is that so-called, why only criminals are always rich and honest people are always poor? Not exactly, but yeah, you will find the criminals are rich sometimes. Those Dawood Ibrahim type of guys, they will be, or Escobar in Mexico, he will be rich. But that richness that they have is because of some piety that they've done in previously. And now because they're misusing that position and committing all kinds of sin, their future is going to be very dark. Why are some people taking birth in countries like, you open YouTube, there will be ad, oh, some malnourished child, with rib cages all. I mean, of course, we are not laughing at their fate, but why do things happen? Actually, we should understand. They happen because I misused my position previously and now I'm getting this. It's not that, oh, yeah, he deserves his karma, let him rot. No, no. We will help everybody. Our help is we should give Krishna consciousness to the suffering person, so in every way, everybody should be benefited. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. This is our Vedic philosophy. Everybody should become happy. And happiness will not come with material help. It will come with spiritual help. So if I have to jigyasa, question, I have to be in a perplexing situation. I have to be perplexed in order to question. If everything is going smooth and hunky-dory, I will not question anything. Enjoy life. So when it hits us hard, then we'll start going, where am I? What am I doing? Until then, we will never ask, where am I? Because I feel wherever I am, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm enjoying. When it hits bad, then where am I? Who am I? Why am I facing this? Whenever everything is going good, we will not question, why am I facing this? Oh, it is all because of me. Why I should question? I already know I am the reason. I am the cause of this happiness. So when it hits hard, then I don't want to blame myself. I'll blame. I will look for whom to blame. Why is this happening to me? When everything happens right, we don't question like that, right? We don't question, why is this happening to me? No. Yeah, actually I deserve it, Because of my affirmations. Nowadays, because of my affirmations. Oh, you are good. I'm good, I'm enough, I'm great, I'm talented. Nowadays they do this in the Western motivational rascals. They promote these kind of ideas. Affirmations. Every morning, please have your affirmations. I'm good, I'm beautiful, I'm charming, I'm this, I'm rich. They say like this. Then they say, oh, this will manifest, this manifestation. Rascal. Krishna is giving, so you're getting something. Some people are saying, oh, this one, nothing is manifesting. Why? Because their karma is not allowing them to do that. Some people are getting it. So anyway, so these things happen by Krishna's grace. And we should know why these things are happening. Now, when things hit, everything is bad, then we'll start questioning. So therefore, these so-called painful situations are actually better for us. I will give an example. I will not show because it's already almost 10 o'clock. So much to discuss, but what to do? So, I'll give an example. This is in the 4th canto, 13th chapter, verses 39 through 47. You can see. Anga, Maharaj Anga, very great devotee. His son, Vena, complete rascal. Such a cruel person that even as a child, when he was playing, if he lost the game, he will slaughter the other child. Slaughter, behead him. As a child, he was doing this. So cruel. His father tried to discipline him in so many ways and correct him. Nothing worked. And he grew up to be a horrible fellow. So as he was growing up, Anga did not even want to wait to see his adulthood. If his childhood is so bad, adulthood, what all he will do, he did not want to see. So he was thinking, he was a great devotee though. He did not complain. Hey Krishna, I chanted your name all this while. What use is you gave me a son who's a rascal, complete idiot. And then now I have to live with this son. No, he never complained. He's first of all, he thought, let me take out those 2 verses at least. First he said this. Let's go to the translation. The king thought to himself, persons who have no son are certainly fortunate. Now, everybody wants a son. When they get married, they want a son. Putra pinda prayojanam. But he is saying, persons who have no son are certainly fortunate. They must have worshipped the Lord in their previous lives so that they would not have to suffer the unbearable unhappiness caused by a bad son. Having no son is better than having bad son, no? But then he says, he thinks further, then he thinks like this. Having no son is better than having a bad son. But he now says that having a bad son is better than a good son. A bad son is better than a good son. Because a good son creates an attachment for home, whereas a bad son does not. A bad son creates a hellish home from which an intelligent man naturally becomes very easily detached. So, sometimes it so happens that the child becomes bad, or sometimes it's the spouse who becomes bad. Turns out that, it's a horrible person. So, these are actually good things. Those who have happy marriages, so-called, materially speaking, it doesn't apply to devotees. Devotees, this way or that way is both. Jivova, Marova, same thing for them. Whether you die or live, it's same. Whether happy family life or horrible family life, it's no problem for them. Either way, they will want to become Krishna conscious. But for those who are not advanced devotees, a comfortable family situation, like recently there was this one devotee who just went to India to get married. I think a few days later his marriage was right. So he said, Prabhu, please bless me that after my marriage I'll become more focused. I said, Prabhu, because he said she will take care of all the household duties so I can focus. I said, good luck with that. One day Vishwambar Prabhu told nicely, when you are a bachelor, you have 5 senses to control. When you are a grihastha, you have 20 senses to control. 4 people. So good luck with having peace. So actually, a cooperative wife or a non-cooperative wife. Now, Prabhupada had a non-cooperative wife. She was chaste and everything, but devotionally she was not cooperative. So what it did to him? He got detached and took sannyas. And today we are discussing Bhagavatam only because his wife was not cooperative. So it is actually a blessing if family situations are a bit, uncomfortable in that way. Of course, we don't wish uncomfortable situations for people, but it is only because it will give us a comfortable situation in the future. Now we may have to suffer a little bit, but actually it will be a huge blessing if we know how to take it. Now, what happened to one disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left, there were 2 people who became gurus. One was a grihastha, one was a sannyasi. And this grihastha was an expert manager, very expert manager. And he was conducting temples and preaching festivals, everything for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was the most expert manager in the whole movement, Gaudiya Math. So he became guru. Now, he had one son. Now, one day, what happened? He came to the temple, and after that, at the end of the day, he went back home. He saw both his wife and son dead in the house. So what happened? So the son was 15 years old, 15 to 16 years old. So what happened was this, that this wife of this devotee was having so many illicit relationships, but the husband never knew. He never knew. She did it so secretly. But the boy was young and he couldn't understand in the beginning. But when he was 15 years old, he could understand what is what now. And one day he caught his mother. That day which had happened, he caught his mother having this affair with this lady, with this man. Then he said, I'm going to tell Papa about this. What is this? What is this? He was shocked. Son was shocked to the core. Then she, in her, blinded by lust, she killed her own son. She killed her own son, and then she realized, what is this? What is my life? And she killed herself. So in one day, from morning to evening, his life was turned upside down. He came home, he was a devotee and well known in the whole Gaudiya Math, and he's a guru now, and this is his family situation. Morning he went, it was all okay. Back he came, killed, both of them dead. What happened to him? He committed suicide. He committed suicide. Prabhupada commented on this. You know what he said? He is a fool. Now you may say, hey, come on, you should have some sympathy for him. Come on, this is very painful. Yeah, anybody it will pain. That is how a materialist would think. If he is a guru, he should have been a spiritually very advanced person, and so, otherwise don't become a guru in the first place. And after sufficiently having understood the philosophy, or rather, it is a proof that he did not understand it enough, that he was so overtaken by emotions that he consumed his own life. And now he will have to become a ghost for that. Because those who commit suicide, they will become ghosts. So, Prabhupada said, if his family situation was decimated in one day, he should have been more than happy. He should have immediately taken, this is Krishna's will, taken sannyas and preach even more vigorously. Seeing the naked form of the material world, when suffering is packaged as blessing, it is much more dangerous than when it is visible and you're warned of it. Like, for example, if a tiger is coming, it is a warning. You have to, it is already, there's no two ways about it. It's not, maybe the tiger will be kind to me. No. Tiger knows, no, he will be kind to himself only, his stomach. Because Vrikodara, his digestive juices are so strong that he will kill you. So, no point hoping for that. So, it is visible and we know it. But when it comes in a packaging of help, I'll give an example of such kind of help. Abortion. Oh, we should care for the woman. It's her body. It's her choice. We should give her the, what are they doing? And it was a part of women's liberation. Oh, it's women's liberation. Women should have the choice. They should not be oppressed. They should not be forced to have a child if they don't want to. Yeah, that is, if she doesn't want to have a child, she should not have a child. Don't have sex also. Not that you have the sex and don't want the consequence, and now you resort to abortion, killing the child and throwing the child into darkness. You will go to another womb. And more than the child, this mother will suffer. It's not women's liberation, it's women's entanglement. She will suffer the worst. She's not a mother, she's a murderer. So they package it like what? Health care. Where is the health of the child? Child is dead. So where is the health for the child? And where is the care for the mother? How are you caring for the woman when you're throwing her into the dungeons of hell? This is called danger in the packaging of help. And nowadays they're saying gender affirming care. If a woman wants to become a man, we have surgery options for you. We will cut off your breasts. You look like a man. Health care. Gender affirming care. Oh, you are a man, you want to become, okay, fine, we'll cut off your penis. That is mutilation. That is torture. That is complete inhuman, psychopathic nonsense. Okay, and this is what is going on in the name of gay, lesbian, transgender, all nonsense, rubbish, rascaldom. And so therefore, and that is even more dangerous. We have to have debates to say that, okay, this is wrong. When the child is born, if the mother kills the child, slaughters the child, oh, so cruel, so cruel. But when she does the same thing when the child is inside the womb, oh, jai. What is that? Women ki jai. Women's rights ki jai. What about the right of the poor child who took wholehearted shelter of your womb and your womb became a graveyard before he was even born? What about that? How dark it is and how glorified it is in today's society. This is what happens if demons take charge of the society. Demoniac atheistic governments. This is what happens. These things get legislated. And it is legislated even in India, thanks to our Indira Gandhi, who herself committed so many abortions. Prabhupada saw Indira Gandhi because he went to meet her. Just by looking at her face, he could understand that she had 4 abortions by then already. And that time the science was not as refined as it is today, how to kill a child without harming the mother. So-called harm without harming, actually it is harm. But anyway, a bad son creates a hellish home. Similarly, a bad wife is actually a blessing in one way. Think here, this is explained here. Not that a good wife is a curse. It's not the immediate. It's not that. But sometimes when the material nature, instead of packaging it like, when the wife is too good, chaste and everything, it is good for the wife to be so. But it is bad for the husband if he gets attached because of her service. A husband gets attached to the wife because of her service to him. And that is bad for him, but it is good for her to serve like that. So a man must be detached from that, even if he is served nicely. It's not that detached means don't care for the wife. No. Do the duty, but not attached. Too much attachment is yochit sangha sangha. So here, you see, I'll give you this. It appears that King Anga did not get a very good wife in Sunitha because she was the daughter of death personified. Why Vena acquired the quality of Sunitha? No. According to Smriti Shastra, a child generally follows the principles of his maternal uncle's house. Naranam Matula Karma means that a child generally follows the qualities of his maternal family. If the maternal family is very corrupt or sinful, that means the girl's family, is very corrupt and sinful, the child, even though born of a good father, becomes the victim of the maternal family. According to the Vedic civilization, therefore, before the marriage takes place, an account is taken of both the boys' and girls' families. If according to astrological calculation the combination is perfect, then marriage takes place. Sometimes, however, there is a mistake and family life becomes frustrating. Sometimes when family life becomes frustrating, they will blame the astrologer. Hey, what is astrology? Nothing happened. See what happened to my marriage. But actually, it is actually blessing. Now here, it appears that King Anga did not get a very good wife in Sunitha because she was the daughter of death personified. Sometimes the Lord arranges an unfortunate wife for his devotee, so that gradually, due to family circumstances, the devotee becomes detached from his wife and home and makes progress in devotional life. It appears that by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Anga, although a pious devotee, got an unfortunate wife like Sunitha and later on a bad child like Vena. But the result was that he got complete freedom from the entanglement of family life and left home to go back to Godhead. Now, his position is similar to that Gaudiya Math, that devotee's position. Family was hell now. Anga went to the forest and this devotee committed suicide. So, this is where the difference lies. Why bad things happen to good people, good things happen. For the devotee, he knows whatever happens is only for good. But we should know how it is actually good. Oh, because it is actually reducing my attachment. And it is giving me more impetus to join Krishna consciousness even more seriously. That's why it is good. Yeah, it may be horrible, the way it happened or whatever, but yeah, I can detach myself. So that is good. When Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, he did not complain, hey, how can you curse me? And he was a Vaishnava himself. That boy was only a Brahmana. He was a Vaishnava, more higher than the Brahmin boy. He could have counter-cursed. Oh, you curse me? I also curse you, also die. He did not do that. Sorry, Prabhuji. So he did not do that. What did he do? Oh, it is God's blessing. Although he was in the prime of his life. Hey, I am the king, I am the ruler, and now you are cursing me. You don't know, I am... because of me, all the world is running nicely, and you are cursing me? What brains you have? And not only he could counter-curse the boy, he could be saved from the curse also because he was once saved by Vishnu when he was in the womb of his mother by Ashwatthama. From Ashwatthama's Brahmastra. So the Lord, at his behest, would have come and saved him again from the curse. He did not ask the Lord and he did not counter-curse the boy. He took it, he tolerated it, and made the best use of the bad situation. What is that? Oh, I have only 7 days in my life left because that was the curse. After 7 days, he would be killed. So, okay. Now I'll hear only Bhagavatam, nothing else. So what happened in his life? Supreme focus. Supreme focus. Now nothing else. No distraction, nothing. I'll just, nothing. Not even eating, not even sleeping, not even, forget about royal duties. Eating, sleeping, not clothing also. Just coping here and went to the Ganga and then sit down there and heard from Sukadeva Goswami. 7 days and nights continuously until his death. And he made good use of his own life for himself. And that Bhagavatam is recorded and now we are discussing it. Today's verse is from that Bhagavatam only where, of course, Rishabdev is speaking. Not is it Rishabdev? Yeah, his instruction. So, it is actually a narration ultimately by Parikshit, Sukadeva to Parikshit. And there are so many nested conversations inside. So this all came about because of that curse. So was the curse a good thing? No. But a devotee can make any bad thing also good thing. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. Sukarmi kurvanti karvani. Sat shastram kurvanti shastrani. This is there in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, 69th verse. So he will make ordinary activities into auspicious activities, even inauspicious activities into auspicious activities. Having a hopeless family is a bad thing, but he will make the best use of it. His position will become better than the person who has a good family. And recently somebody else, some podcast, some short clip somebody shared with me. And a materialist, he was explaining it in a different way. Good example. When you want to go to a shop that is, say, 600 meters away from home, or say 700 meters, you will walk. Oh, 700 meters, I'll just walk. I'll get some exercise. But when it is 2 kilometers away, you will take the bike. You will reach the 2 kilometers destination faster than the 700 meter destination. Paradox. It is farther, but you will reach it faster compared to 700 meters. The thing is that when it is difficult, we will take other means and to get it done faster. When there is easy, then we'll take the relaxed approach. So when things become all messed up, then focus becomes laser focused. Because for a man who had a family, and he has to think of his child's future, getting him married, and retirement, all these things have to think. But if suddenly one day the family is dead, okay, I did not want it, but it happened. Okay, now I can just focus on one thing, my spiritual life. I don't have to even work hard now. Not that, hey, now you go and kill your family and now you become free. Please. I'm not advocating that. So please don't misconstrue my statements. So, but when things happen in that way, we should know how to take it as a blessing of Krishna. Because it is actually a blessing. It will only become a curse because of our perspective. That's why Krishna is Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He always is our friend. Even when so-called reversals happened in our life, still actually those reversals are benedictions, provided we know how to understand them as benedictions and not misconstrue them as curses. And when we think that it is a curse, oh, Krishna did this to me, our faith in Krishna decreases, we suffer even more, everything, our material life just continues. And when we take react drastically out of emotion, even worse. So this stability of mind we will get in the association of devotees. When we have heard, that's why don't wait for things to go bad. One thing, be sure that things will go bad. Not that no, Shubh Labh, they will put there everywhere. Hindus, Shubh Labh. Huh? Subhala. No. Shubh Labh. So, Shubh means auspicious, Labh means gain. Oh, auspiciousness and gain. Auspiciousness. So, you will never get lost. You will never get an auspiciousness. So, we should not hope. That is what is in the today's letter, Prabhupada's letter. What did you see? That is utopia. To expect that, oh, nothing bad will happen. No. Even among the devotees also, to think that, oh, when I enter the association of devotees, it's going to be all rosy and everybody is going to be some Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj. Or Kunti Devi or Radharani. Well, in Radharani also there is competition. Chandravali and Radharani are fighting with each other always. But it's of course transcendental fights, not like here. Completely different. But to think that, oh, there will be no, that is impersonalism, Prabhupada said. That is very interesting. Today's letter, he said, to hope for a utopia, that when I enter the association of devotees, nothing should go bad. Or when I become a devotee, all good things should happen to me, money should come and all following should come, everything. That is not what happens when you become a devotee. Don't hope for utopia. So that means, if we hope for utopia, that means we're impersonalists. Because when there is a person, when you're dealing with persons who are not impersonal, you will have sometimes agreement, sometimes disagreement. And we have to know how to tolerate these small issues and work for the bigger end. Even among devotees. And that's exactly what the letter was today. Um, so utopia we should not hope. We should pray to Krishna not to remove our troubles, but to give us the strength to pass through any trouble. Gurunapi vichalyate. Sthitosmi gatasandaya. What is that? Gurunapi vichalyate. Yam labdha chaparam labham manyate na adhikam tata. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena. Gurunapi. So even if the worst situation comes, I should not be shaken. Please give me that strength. I'm not asking you to make all devotees suddenly favorable to me and nobody will fight with me or nobody will correct me or chastise me or, No. Give me the strength to go through anything. What Kunti Devi prayed to Krishna? Vipada santuta shashvat. Means again and not once more, please. No. Again and again, please. She was 110 years old at that time when she said this. Remember, Krishna was 89 years old at the battlefield. That means Arjuna was 89 years old because they both were the same age. Kunti should be at least like 16, 20 years older than that by calculation. So she was at least 110 around. And whole life was full of challenges, troubles. Husband died. Children were always harassed. She had to go to the forest with them. Now, after all of that, at 110, you will be enough. Let me die peacefully now. You will ask for enough, yaar. I mean, come on. I had enough of life. No, she was saying, I'm ready to go through it. Not once more. Again and again. Shashvat. Eternally, I'm ready to go through this. Because when all those were happening, you were with us, Krishna, and now you're leaving us. I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay. And if you will stay, only if those things happen, then please bring those things back. I want all those things. The devotee doesn't care. For whatever may come, he wants Krishna. That story of Krishna's headache. So gopis said, we don't care whether we go to hell. Krishna's headache must be solved. If our dust gives him the solution, that's it. We'll go to hell. No more, no problem. If Krishna is happy with our suffering, then we'll gladly take the suffering as our greatest happiness. So that is their mood. So this is how a devotee's mood should be. Krishna, no matter what, please give me the strength. I will never leave you. I will never leave the association of devotees. I wanted to speak so much on the association of devotees, but I absolutely don't have time. I'm going to end here. So in 11:2:30, it says the greatest treasure. And the purport, actually, I wanted to go through the purport of that verse. You go and read it. Very beautiful purport. And the commentary of Jiva Goswami and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is even very beautiful. So I'll just stop it here. Any questions or comments? Okay, I think no questions or comments. So I'll end here. Evil. He said those. Yeah, good actually. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 39th verse and 40th verse. 40th verse. Let's go. So Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Parthanaiveha Namutra Vinashastasya Vidyate, Nahi Kalyana Kritkaschit Durgatim Tatagachati. Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, O son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So he's asking how to reconcile this. He will never get anything bad, everything is good only for him. So what is the good also Krishna explains in the next few verses. So a person who, because in the chapter 2 text 40 it is said, Neha Bhikamanasa Swalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayata Mahatu. Even if you do a little bit in devotional service, you'll be liberated. But how does liberation happen? He explains here, 40. Here he starts. So if I do a little bit, he will never meet with destruction. But then he will actually die. You see. And not only once. This is what happens to him. 41. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people on earth, or into a family of rich aristocracy. So that's enough. So you may think, hey, everything good, he will go back to Godhead. No. He's coming back. Yeah, Krishna said, yes, nothing bad will come to him. But it will take time. You see, then next. Or if unsuccessful after a long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So he'll take birth in such a family. And then he says, on taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life and again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. But then he does not achieve complete success in that life. You see what happens next. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of scriptures. Now, and when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. The good also happens. You see how much time it takes. We are in a haste. We are in a hurry. We want to go back to Godhead. After this level, we'll go back to Godhead. Yeah, we can. We can. Provided we become as serious. If only we can be as serious about the process as we are of the destination, we will. But we are serious only about the destination and not the process, then sorry. We want results without the effort, then that's not going to come. So, like even Bharat Maharaj, he was so fortunate. Even he took 2 lives. 3 lives. Bharat, deer, and again Jada Bharat. 3 lives from there. That is fortunate position. And he remembered his. Our standard is where? And we want to go back this life. 1. No, not 3. 1. But then Ajamal got it in 1. That's the other side of it. He got it in 1. But he chanted the name. Somehow or other, whatever it is, he chanted the name. Asura Sakala Payala Charan Vinod Thakilo Bose. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Asura Sakala Payala Charan. We are saying Hiranyakashipu rascal, Putana rascal, Hitranavarta rascal, Kamsa rascal. All of them have attained the lotus feet of Krishna. I am sitting inside in the material world. So how big a rascal I am? So when I am in that position and I am calling them rascals, yeah, they played the part of rascals to show us that how much rascal we are actually. They are not rascals, they went back. If we are as fortunate as them, we would have gone back, but we are still here. But they are there. So who is rascal now? So we want, we sing Namaste Narsimhaya. But if our character is like Hiranyakashipu, he is not going to save us. So I must be as good as Prahlad Maharaj, then Narsimhadev protection will be, ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajame ham. I want the full protection of Narsimhadev, but I will not be as full of a devotee as Prahlad Maharaj. How can that work? Balasana. Yeah. Upeksha. So the Lord will neglect. Ye yathamam prapadyante. Yadrishi shraddha siddhir bhavati tadrishi. That's the rule. So if we are praying to Narsimhadev and I behave like Hiranyakashipu, like offending devotees, this and that, where Narsimhadev will protect me? Sometimes devotees offend one devotee and get the reaction, pray to Narsimhadev, please protect me. You're offending devotee and you pray to Narsimhadev. So sometimes we don't see ourselves. We think we are on the level of Prahlad Maharaj. He'll always protect me. Narsimhadev will definitely protect. What we should ask for protection, not that, hey, he's rascal, please Narsimhadev protect me from these rascals. No. Prahlad Maharaj is praying. This one. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaste Tejase Avir Bhava Vajranakha Vajradamshtra Karmashayan Randhaya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayamatmani Bhuyishtha Om Shram. So this is the prayer of Prahlad Maharaj to Narsimhadev. He did not ask Narsimhadev, please save him from Hiranyakashipu, my father. He never said. Narsimhadev came, but not at the behest of Prahlad Maharaj. He did not come. Because of Prahlad Maharaj asked, please save me from this Hiranyakashipu. He never asked. Pandavas never asked Krishna, please save us from this Kauravas. Never asked. Pure devotee will never ask. Parikshit Maharaj never asked, please save me from this curse of the Brahmin. Never. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimha, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this manner. Shilatankana khalaya, the stone-like chest of Hiranyakashipu, so hard-bodied, he pierced. Similarly, our heart is like stone. Vasudev Ghosh, he said, what is it, in place of beautiful song, Yadi Gaur na hoito, that song, last line. Vasudevam Vaser diya Pashan diya. Vaser here Pashan diya. So in the place of heart, I have a stone. Sometimes we say we have kidney stone. In the place of heart, we have a stone there. Stone-hearted, in other words. So if you are stone-hearted like Hiranyakashipu, if you are not having any devotional feelings for the Lord, then we will be decimated like Hiranyakashipu was decimated. So please remove, please decimate those, please rip apart the stone-like, non-devotional desires that I have. That is the prayer we should ask. That is the prayer we should ask for the Lord. Kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Hiranyakashipu was a personification of this karmashaya. That is what he was. We will understand concepts if it is presented with a person, villain, hero. We will understand. Because we think we are not the villain. We are always thinking we are the hero. So, Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. But actually, we have the tendency of Hiranyakashipu within us, although we want to be like Prahlad. So, both things are in us. So, if it is separated, then we can see the lesson. And then we have to be intelligent enough to apply it in our own life. Okay, this part of me must go. I want to become a devotee, but I am behaving like an idiot, so I must change myself. So, that is what Prahlad Maharaj is praying for. Kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this matter. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance. See, that is what he is praying. So that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Last point before we close. Somebody asked me, one devotee, why do devotees should chant Narasimha Kavacha? Because Narasimha Kavacha, everything is asking, save me, save my front, back, up and down, and everything. Please save, protect. Why should devotees ask like this? This protection is from Maya. Not like, somebody is attempting to kill me. Narasimha, please protect me. No, that should not be the prayer of the devotee. Whether you kill me or protect me, please protect my devotional service to you. Mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatat bhakti rahaito kitvai. My life, I may remain in this material world many, but please protect my bhakti to you, Krishna. That is the prayer of every devotee, every pure devotee. Okay, I'll stop here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premananda Hari.